Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and very good afternoon to the organizing committees and ladies and gentlemen. It's my honor to be invited to present a lecture in FIT International Conference of Engineering Professional Ethics and Dedication 2022. My title today is Embedding the Entrepreneurship in Engineering Education. First of all, let me introduce myself. I'm Professor Dr. Luqman Abdullah from Department of Chemical and Environmental Engineering, Universiti Putra, Malaysia. I would like to introduce my presentation with the definition to the terms of the entrepreneurship. What is entrepreneurship? Entrepreneurship has become increasingly important for business of all sides around the world now today. It is often a new opportunity and possibility for the business to create value for themselves and for the society at large. Despite its popularity, studies suggest that the scope of entrepreneurship remains unknown, and therefore the prospect of entrepreneurial activities remain not fully realized. However, that is also mean that it opened the door to the world that many engineering disciplines or other disciplines also can be ventured into entrepreneurship. In the modern-day markets, the term entrepreneurs have been closely linked with the economic development. And economic development can emerge due to several reasons, which include the launch of the new source of procurement for raw materials and all materials, the introduction of a new production mechanism, the introduction of new quality of products or novel product, the opening of the new market, and the organization of a business. The management of all these aspects are carried by the enterprise, and the people who function are to carry out this activity are called entrepreneurs. In contemporary market, entrepreneurs act as an innovator or developer who identify and capture the opportunity. They transform the opportunity into mechanizable concept, and then they create the value through the multiple stakeholders and the resources. Finally, they take risks while seeking for reward for their ventures and effort. So how to define entrepreneurs? To date, several definitions have been penned to describe entrepreneurs, and some of them are mentioned by. Entrepreneurs is someone who manages all the necessary resources to produce and market a product which respond to the market secrecy. Someone also defined that entrepreneurs are individuals who recognize opportunity where others see a chaos, contradiction, and confusion. They are aggressive catalysts for the change and between the marketplace. Someone also defined the entrepreneur as a person that who carry out the new combination, causing discontinuity. The role is completed when the function is completed. The person may be employed with existing organization or may start a new venture, and an investor perceives only risk capital of a return. After seeing the definition of entrepreneurship, what kind of characteristics for entrepreneurs? The main characteristics of entrepreneurs are due to their sociological and psychological factors. So some of those characteristics are mentioned as below. Entrepreneurs can be a person who have a vision-oriented. Entrepreneurs also have high need in the achievement. Entrepreneurs also do not rely on fate of luck. However, they will try to control their own life. Entrepreneurs to undertake the moderate risk, which is why they look for a high earning on their investment. Besides, entrepreneurs have the ability to deal with several ambiguous situations in their ventures. They face these ambiguous situations and circumstances regularly because they do certain jobs and tasks which are entirely new by nature. And entrepreneurs also have the tendency to be productive and efficient with a given period of time. However, at times, they might be seen as an inflexible individual in the teamwork. Here's some discussion about entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is an art of establishing a new venture. Entrepreneurship can also be considered as a function through which growth and development can be achieved without commencing a new business venture. It's often a process by which people, either inside of the company or they are on their own, look for the prospect without a regard to the resources and their present control. However, an entrepreneurial organization is there which pursue the opportunity regardless of the resources currently controlled. There are among some of the descriptions of entrepreneurship. So, what's the definition of the entrepreneurship? Entrepreneurship can be defined as a creation of the organization. What differentiates the entrepreneurs from the non-entrepreneurs is that the entrepreneurs create the organization while the non-entrepreneurs do not. In behavioral approach to the study of the entrepreneurship, an entrepreneur is seen as a set of activity involved in organization creation, while in trait of approach, an entrepreneur is a set of personality trait of characteristic. So what trait of characteristic of an entrepreneur should possess? So we can see in the next slide, right, what the trait of the typical entrepreneurs will possess. Entrepreneurs can be a risk taker. They're usually flexible. They could be knowledgeable. They're usually independent and must be energetic. They are creative and a dynamic leader, responsive to the suggestion and criticism. They're usually resourceful and the initiator of any given opportunity. And of course, finally, they are a very persistent person. Type of entrepreneurship. There are generally four entrepreneurs type. There are achievement entrepreneurs, salesman entrepreneurs, technology entrepreneurs, or manager. And achievement entrepreneurs primarily associated with the desire to achieve. These type of individuals are usually having an enormous amount of energy and capability to take charge. They take initiative and do not wait for things to happen. They often possess the leadership quality and have a great sense of commitment and responsibility in their venture. This type of individual are good in several business-related aspects, and they try to accomplish their objective while heading for their mission. Another type of entrepreneurship, salesman entrepreneurs. These individuals possess skill to interact with people and have a very good soft side of the management aspect. These people are typified for having the feeling of the consumer needs and wants. They usually use the soft sales approach while pursuing the goal of their ventures. They have enormous talent for connecting with people and spend most of their time in marketing their product and service, and permit other people to manage their business. These individuals therefore devote their time to understand who and how are the consumers in the market. They develop proper vision for marketing and sales practice to reach wider consumer groups. Technology entrepreneur, probably one of the entrepreneurship that are closely related to our engineering graduate. Individuals belong to this category are generally idea developers. These individuals often possess great idea. They have the capability to develop innovative process and invent novel product or service for niche market. As these individuals possess the quality to create several ideas, and they have a good analytical intelligence and take calculated risks in their ventures. Although these individuals possess a good analytical intelligence to make way through several situations, however, at times their mission can become a bit idealistic. Manager, this type of individual possess a quality of taking charge of the mission. Individuals belonging to this type of entrepreneurship are very competitive by nature, but not as cooperative as one would expect in the teamwork. They are usually found to take a position of high authority, such as external investor, or sometimes act as a board of director. They prefer to work in a larger organization than the smaller entrepreneurs business. They seek comfort in making the effective marketing strategy, but not necessarily selling product or service. Their way of to sell are different. They employ logic and carefully thought the persuasion and as mechanism to sell their ideas. There are risk experience, strong management skill, process strength in managing existing business. Entrepreneurship opportunity. Entrepreneurship offers several opportunities. In some of these opportunities are expansion of entrepreneurial activity through an advance of the internet and the explosion of e-commerce on global scale. Integration in social and political fabric in several emerging economies. Increasing economic situation in the middle income household in several economies. Increase cross-border engagement and market entry mechanisms such as strategy, alliance, subsidiary, joint venture, and etc. Evolving trend in channel structure among the developed world, and increased engagement in global markets concerning the social responsibility and ethics. Here shown the flow of the typical entrepreneur's process. The process of entrepreneurship can observe through the 6 stages. First, identify an opportunity, then establish a vision, followed by pursuing others and gather resources. They create new venture of products and market, then change and adapt with time. So how the entrepreneurs relate to our engineering education and or education is make up all kind of experience that they give the student the ability and vision how to assess and transform opportunity in the different kind. The entrepreneurs go beyond the business creation. This is about increasing the student ability to anticipate and respond to the social change. Entrepreneurs education is an education that or training that which allow the student to develop and use their creativity and to take initiative, responsibility, and risks. So the student will eventually benefit from the skill, that especially the entrepreneurship skill, in the end of their study. Engineering entrepreneurs are there the oxymoron? People always think that engineering and entrepreneurship is a contradiction terms. Yeah, is it true that the engineering cannot get along with the entrepreneurship? I think people typically have a stereotype on engineering that they are misuse or over reliant on precision, the tendency of over-analyze, focus on technology, server discomfort with open-ended or good problem, which hold the data until complete solution. These are the typical impression toward the engineering graduate or engineering practice people. So entrepreneurship seems to be a little bit not very connected to the engineering or engineering graduate. Yeah, but however, is that true? So, what's the objective of entrepreneurship in the engineering education? It's aimed to create and harness the power of entrepreneurship in engineering education in order to turn out a new generation of students who can start a new enterprise or renew the existing business. To nurture and develop the entrepreneurial characteristic in an individual engineering graduate and encourage that him or her to become an entrepreneur, while acknowledging that not all the individuals who are exposed to the entrepreneurship will become entrepreneurs or establish business. Yeah, so make clear in their mind that to have the entrepreneurship in the engineering education doesn't mean that they will end up as entrepreneurs or as something business. However, this element will actually benefit them in many aspects. So, but beside that, another objective is to develop the innovation in young engineering graduates and to develop their skill to identify, to create, and initiate and successfully manage personal, community, business, and work opportunity, of which owning an enterprise is just one example. You can see that how much the benefit beside that just on the business that ending. The importance of entrepreneurship and during education. Stimulating the innovative and goal-oriented entrepreneurship in engineering education is a key economic or social challenge to which university or college have much to contribute. The development of entrepreneurship is essential prerequisite for economic growth and development that can provide an important new source of high quality employment. What are the impact of entrepreneurship in engineering education? Fostering a robust entrepreneurial culture will maximize the individual and collective economic or social success on a local, national, and global scale. Available studies indicate that the entrepreneurship course have a positive effect on the student career path. Studies show that compared to non-entrepreneurship students with an entrepreneurial background are more inclined to start a business and they tend to perform better in a well-established company as compared to the non-entrepreneurial students. The entrepreneurial framework in engineering consists of three categories: curiosity, connection, and creating value. Curiosity. It encourages the researcher, scholar, or student to keep their eyes and ears open for pain points and friction spot that exists between the society or the marketplace. Why is a product less ideal? Why does a process take so long? How can we improve the structure and system to better serve the humanity? These are the questions that can be arise in the mind of the student. They have an entrepreneur's training, a curious mind that put people in a very strong position to react such query and to find a solution for them. Connection. They improve the curious-minded to build upon what other inquisitive people and have offered the world. The inquisitive learner should be encouraged to connect with other innovators across the geographies, academic disciplines, industry school sectors, and even their time periods to piece together the most impactful picture and benefit to solve the problem. Besides that, the factors is a great value to motivate students to determine if a solution should come from a customer development model. This means that students design and build solutions based on customer want, need, and expectation. They're not building something in the garage without concerning the consumer need or other people's demands. Gaining an insight from the most qualitative data source directly from end user and ultimately result in the global value creation. There are some features that should be incorporated in the engineering entrepreneur curriculum. The entrepreneurial program should be obligatory for all the engineering students. The program should involve hand-on business experience based on the innovating engineering project. The program should also be based on the multidisciplinary teamwork project. Mixing people from different college and background will add versatility and functionality to the team and broaden their entrepreneurial experience. With one college, and the heterogeneity can be achieved by mixing students from several departments. The program should encourage a competitive component of the entrepreneurial education by encouraging the student to act on their talents and ideas. What we should do as educators to foster the innovation, we should emphasize on creating things in the coursework. Yeah, we can apply some of the elements of the innovative on entrepreneurship on our coursework. By starting a new assignment, project, or whatever element that we can utilize in our coursework. And this must be start as early as possible and should be continuous until throughout the duration of their study. The first quarter of freshman through the senior project and facilitate student-driven activity These are the important activities that we should incorporate in our program. And we should involve the student from a multidisciplinary team that will help to inspire the student and open their mind to the different angle and to achieve the solution. The model of the entrepreneurs university of focus on the triple approve of the entrepreneurs university, and internal approve and external approve and the operation one. The internal approach acknowledging the need of having the appropriate infrastructure and creating a space for students to meet, interact, and foster the creativity and innovation. The external approach recognize the role of community in building an entrepreneurial ecosystem and the symbiotic relationship that the university should have with the business environment and the local community. The third approach, named the Operation 1, is itself divided into three components that summarize the activity of a university: research, formal and informal teaching, and learning. Last but not least, statistically speaking, some of the most impactful entrepreneurs and innovators globally hail from the discipline of other than the business. So engineering students may not be really identify themselves as entrepreneurs or innovators. However, university can play the key role in encouraging an entrepreneurial mindset as early as possible so the student from the diverse field and can quickly iterate, design, build, and deploy the solution within the marketplace that benefit the society. English economist John Maynard Keynes had once said that the greatest difficulty is not for the people to accept the new idea, but to make them forget about the old one. When thinking about the entrepreneurship in engineering education, we are indeed talking about the prospect for the future, not about the inheritance of the past. Thank you very much for your patience. And that's the end of my presentation. Thank you very much once again.